Welcome back to the show, everybody. You're going to love this. Crypto is absolutely front and center in this presidential election. We've got some bomb-dropping evidence for you to see, and it's not even evidence, it's just facts. You want to see all of this. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $2.69 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off by 0.9%. Bitcoin, 67,700 plus. Ethereum, 3,800 plus. Tether market cap is 111 plus. And we see XRP at 52 cents at the number 8 spot. We're off by 0.2 in the 24, off by 0.7 on the 7-day. Right now, ranging between 52 and 54 cents, just like yesterday. We'll keep an eye on it. I do want to remind everybody, I Trust Capital, the best home for crypto IRAs, gold and silver IRAs. Yeah, look, the only thing better than buying crypto is buying tax-free crypto. You can roll over your 401k, your TSP, your 403b, 457, and more, and have control of everything that is in your back office that is invested. You can move the things around based on market conditions. Look at the kind of control and power you get. Why sit back and just wait for the market to tell you what you're going to do when you can control your tax-free investment from your back office with iTrust? Click the link below and get started today. I want to remind everybody very quickly here, we have a weekly show we're doing Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Mark your calendars. It's digital asset investor, the GOAT himself, and I getting together to discuss crypto and other things. And this coming week, next Tuesday, we just did ours yesterday, the first one. Shout out to Jimmy Void there. That's my brother and Snakey. We just did the first one yesterday, and they were in there, and it was great to see them and so many others. But this is going to be something that's an extension from our channels that we're certainly excited to be doing, and it's going to give us a little more freedom of what we want to do and talk about. So make sure you tune in. This is going to be really, really exciting and very positive, too, I don't mind saying. So make sure you check that out and mark your calendar for that. Trades on Wall Street will settle in one day for the first time in 100 years. Come on in. Blockchain and distributed ledger technology is how it's happening too, by the way. So super excited about that as we talked about. And as we discussed, I did not think that going to T+1 was going to immediately move price. But it did move to distributed ledger technology and blockchain in the aid of settlement. We should be super excited because we know it wasn't going to affect price on the same day, right? We are taking a phase-in approach. That's what's been happening for years in this space. And that's why a lot of people get super frustrated because they assume that that day that happens, that all of a sudden the price of XRP and other assets will just explode. But it didn't happen. And I didn't think it would. And you guys know that. But I continue to see the fundamental news for that moment to be set up so that can happen. And we just saw that yesterday. T+1 settlement. Can't happen without distributed ledger technology and blockchain, ladies and gentlemen. And that means good things for digital assets inside the regulatory system or regulatory framework of the financial system. Loving this for us. Here's one more comment from the clearinghouse. With RTP, real-time payments, everything, the payment and the information travels together, which really makes straight-through processing possible, where something can come out of an accounts payable system and feed into accounts receivable system and get confirmed and closed within seconds. That's what's brand new, right? And the payment and the information traveling together is with the help of the standardization of ISO 20022. And that's how you get the slang where people say, oh, it's an ISO token, which is no such thing, right? But that's how you get that slang, because for the first time, we can now see we're moving into a possibility to move the payment and information together digitally through tokenization and blockchain. Loving this. Wall Street crypto bull run loading 24-25 as Watcher Guru says just in $725 billion asset manager Bernstein predicts Bitcoin will hit 90,000 in 24 and 150,000 in 2025. Oh, really? Bring it on, I say. Wall Street now sees Ethereum hitting $14,000 in 2025. They say here's why, and then they show a bunch of the, and I don't want to get into the advertisements, but they show a bunch of the different possibilities with smart contracts because of Ethereum. And I say don't discount the idea of the spot ETFs helping push this price up as well, not just smart contracts and all the other features that you see like music, NFTs, social metaverse experiments, gaming. You get the idea. Digital real estate, all of that, but there's a lot of legal clarity we need to have too, right? So brace yourselves. But I wanted to report this from Eleanor Terrett. Shout out to her. VolShares leveraged ETH futures ETF will go effective and launch on June 4th. So just days away for that now. And the company confirmed. So really, the market is exploding, ladies and gentlemen. When might we see an XRP ETF? Well, Standard Chartered, a Ripple partner, analyst says other crypto ETFs such as Solana and XRP is a likely 2025 story. And I say, come on in. We ain't but 6 months away from 2025, ladies and gentlemen. These days are moving very quick. I say take your time, make sure you get it right, because once it's here, the world's going to change. Forbes' ruling on XRP certainly contributed momentum to the effort to pass FIT 21 and burnish Brad Garlinghouse's heroic profile among a grassroots army of crypto supporters. And this is the power of what this case has done, the SEC versus Ripple. Look, Stuart Alderati understood this the day they issued the lawsuit against them. He said, goodbye, Howey test, hello, Ripple test, didn't he? Yes, he did. Because I believe he understood that this was going to have to go to distance, not just for XRP, but for the entire crypto space. It is one of those defining cases. And I certainly believe as we're coming to a close here, remember, sometime in July, Judge Torres, Annalisa Torres, usually takes about 2 months, give or take, for her decision. So in this remedy phase, we could see somewhere in July, maybe late July, early August, we could see a ruling. But let's not make a mistake. That is more than likely the end of the beginning. And then the appeals process will start. And then from there, it'll probably go to the Supreme Court. I've said this and I've said this. I don't know. I'd love for it to settle and be over. But when you're talking about the importance of an XRP ledger, which also operates as a world decentralized exchange, it's very powerful in the way it's going to change the world forevermore. A transformation, in fact. It will not return to a way that it used to be. That's why I believe ultimately it has to go to distance. And we will continue to see adoption open slowly as it goes through the trek legally. I do believe that. And it's a tough road. I'd rather see it over. So I hope that I end up being wrong, but we'll see what happens. And knowing that 1 out of every 3 U.S. voters are planning to factor a candidate's crypto view into their voting decision. And I have made it very clear that I am a one-issue voter here. One-issue voter. And I want to see this get taken care of in this next cycle. Whoever is the administration needs to get this done. Not just because we've been holding XRP for a long time. No. Because the United States needs to be a leader in the fourth industrial revolution the way it was a leader in the birth of the internet. And it's even more important today because of the stress that exists on the US dollar. We cannot afford to miss this opportunity to put all of us in a position to win. And I'm not talking about investing. I'm talking about leading as a country. on a global stage. Take a listen to this. Representative French Hill knows what needs to happen.
Fox, the first ever digital assets legislation is passed in the House of Representatives, but the future of the bill remaining unclear as the Senate has yet to come up with companion legislation. There's no timing on when the Senate needs to act. Joining us right now to talk about what comes next, Congressman French Hill chairs the Digital Assets Subcommittee and one of the authors of FIT 21. Good morning to you. So there's no timing on this at all. What's going to happen?
Andrew, good to be with you. Well, look, for the last couple of years, we've worked on a bicameral and bipartisan basis on bills that would enhance our digital assets ecosystem. One on payment stablecoins legislation that Patrick McHenry and Maxine Waters have worked on, and FIT 21 that we passed last week, overwhelmingly 279 yes votes, including 71 Democrats. So that in and of itself sends a major signal to the Senate that we've got good text, we've got bipartisan support, and I think that should incent Senators Loomis and Gillibrand, Stabenow and Bozeman, four members that have worked extensively on understanding this topic, to collaborate with us on a bicameral partnership to pass this bill.
Well, where do you stand on this? I don't know how much you've been focused on this Ether ETF, but in the investment world, that has become the game, at least over the last month, in terms of when that will happen, what the SEC is going to do. Do you have a position on it?
Well, I'm supportive of the SEC going through the same process they did when they looked at, under both Chairman Clayton and Chairman Gensler, approving a Bitcoin ETP. They're following that same process. They had a setback in federal court that I think sped up their analysis. Plus, they determined that the cash market and the futures market seem to be in good correlation. I think that'll enhance the assessment of Ether and put it on slightly a shorter time frame than we saw in the Bitcoin process.
I don't know if you saw former President Trump making some comments at a rally recently saying that he's going to protect, if you're in the crypto, if you like crypto, I'm going to protect your crypto. We're going to make crypto work for you. What did you think of that?
Well, I'm glad to see President Trump's for innovation in the United States. We want the U.S. to be a leader in financial technology, just like we have in other forms of technology, particularly as we look at the future of the internet, Web3, and blockchain. He also said that he was not supportive of a U.S. Central bank digital currency, which I think is a good position. I prefer the private sector leading in payments, and that's why we're still working on a payment stablecoin bill that will let the private sector here lead in that manner on a dollar-backed payment stablecoin.
It's interesting just to see even former President Trump change gears on this, because he was a skeptic originally. Were you a skeptic originally too?
Well, I've always said that I think blockchain has tremendous ability to take out frictional costs in financial services and other forms of the economy. And I think that the concept of a tokenized payment through a payment stablecoin makes sense inside certain applications on a blockchain. That doesn't make me per se someone that would think that Bitcoin is a store of value. Not making that argument, but I am arguing that the U.S. needs the right regulatory framework for digital assets so that venture capitalists, innovators, investors, and consumers can feel like we've got the right regime for innovation in the future of blockchain and Web3 innovation.
He loves it for the private sector. That's what he said. Representative French Hill knows what's going on. And if you notice, he talked about Senator Gillibrand and Senator Lummis and their bicameral bill they have. It almost sounded like he was suggesting like the Gillibrand-Lummis bill needs to kind of mold into somehow FIT 21. Did you get that too? I kind of got the impression they're like asking the Senate and Lummis and Gillibrand to incorporate their bill in FIT 21 so it can just pass as one package. Maybe I'm overreading that, but it felt that way with his language. And the language about having a private company be involved, I tell you, we're going to see. Stay tuned, everybody. But nevertheless, Judge orders the SEC to pay $1.8 million in damages for abusing its power against crypto company debt box. Yeah, that's it. The judge came out and said, no, the SEC lied, and I'm going to fine you $1.8 million. Here's the problem. They're going to pay that fine with our money. An agency who's supposed to be protecting investors harms all of us and gets fined for lying in court and then pays the fine with our money. Now, where's the lesson learned here? Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let me break this down. Digital Asset Investor got it on lock here. SEC chairman sends SEC attorney into court to lie to federal judges. 2, judge fines SEC $1.8 million in damages. 3, taxpayers that the SEC was supposed to be protecting instead of lying in court so they could attack those taxpayers now get to pay the bill. SEC chairman goes to court to request more money to go after U.S. taxpayers by any means necessary, including having SEC attorneys lie to federal judges. 5, SEC is not only not fired, but retires in style or is appointed to another position to continue living off the government dole with no repercussions for his illegal actions. I say the SEC doesn't protect investors. In fact, they're spending our tax money in the form of a fine because they lied. Gary Gensler should have to pay the fine out of his own pocket, not with our tax dollars. Otherwise, why stop? And with all of these headwinds, Brad Garlinghouse chimes in and says, hey, Dems, it's not too late to abandon Elizabeth Warren's anti-crypto army rhetoric and take a bipartisan stance with your GOP colleagues on innovation. It should never have been political in the first place. He's absolutely right. This is why we must. This is not should. You got to turn your should into a must. We must get John Deaton as the next senator in Massachusetts, not only for the benefit of Massachusetts and the good people there, but because we know what he will do to help make sure America is a leader and bring Massachusetts with him. Listen to this. President Trump, again, doubling down, pledging to back cryptocurrency.
You announced you're taking cryptocurrency.
What we're doing is we're backing it as a field. And we have to, because otherwise somebody else is going to be doing it from another country. And as you know, they're already trying. And it's going to happen, and we're going to help it happen. And it's something that can be very good. I think.
And it is something that can be very good. And, you know, and the important part to realize and the takeaway here is this. It's this guy. This is what we currently have. We currently have this guy going after all of us and innovation. You tell me how that makes sense, and we'll both know. But let me show you something explosive that has happened today. CPAC, if you don't know, CPAC is in fact the largest and most influential gathering of conservatives in the world. It is the largest conservative fundraising political PAC on the planet, bar none. And guess what they just did? Director of CPAC Foundation Center for Regulatory Freedom, Andrew Langer, submitted complaints of unethical professional behavior to the New York and California Bar Associations about former Securities and Exchange Commission official William Hinman, ladies and gentlemen. I want to tell you right now, ETHGate is real, and the facts are not in dispute. And you've even heard half-ass influencers come out here and make videos saying we all got to stop talking about it. Well, tell them to sit their part-time ass down. This is what it means to be an American patriot. This is what it means to get up and fight every day for a country you want your children's children to grow up in. ETHGate, the facts are not only not in dispute, but being investigated. We just may have a country to take back after all. We do have a voice. Keep fighting and never give up. Don't believe the people that don't believe in anything. Being an American patriot never felt so good. Damn right. And here's where it gets even tougher. Boring sleuth, the ultimate sleuth. says 2 days after he tweeted the below tweet to Peter Pablo, he said an assassination attempt was taken on him and while he was running a marathon, and he only told one person, and that person was Steven Nareyoff. How about that? You get the rest of what he's suggesting here. He goes on further to make allegations that Steven Nareyoff, in fact, did take ETH and receive tokens and has not been truthful about a lot of things. And he goes on and on and on. I will go deeper into this thread in the Freedom Zone, but this is where I have to stop it today. I have asked, because this influencer is not afraid to ask the tough questions, Steven, can you please respond to these allegations? Thank you in advance. I have tagged Fruition Films and John Deaton as well. So we will see where all of this leads. We're going into the Freedom Zone, and I'm going to break down this thread. It is absolutely powerful. You are going to want to see every single bit of it. We're going into the Freedom Zone to do it. digitalperspectives.com. You can click on the Freedom Zone and come on in, and we will bring you the response from Steven Nareyoff as soon as we have it. I want to see where this goes. We need to get this on a table and talk about it and figure out where it all is. No question. Join us in the Freedom Zone. You can support the channel for almost next to nothing. We're going in right now, not financial advice from me or anyone else. Come on in. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Let's get in.